Today, we're talking about a topic that affects millions of Americans, Social Security. Specifically, we're going to dig into the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to claiming Social Security benefits. But more than that, I want to explore a less talked about angle when spending your money now, enjoying life while you're healthy, might make more sense than simply pushing off benefits to maximize the Social Security check. Because yes, maximizing your Social Security check is important, but if you wait too long or play it safe in all the wrong ways, you might miss out on the very thing you were trying to preserve, your quality of life. We'll break the discussion into three parts. First, the common mistakes people make with Social Security. Number two, some real life or realistic scenarios that go against the standard delay as long as possible advice, where spending or claiming an earlier strategy might be the better move. And third, what to do instead, a mindset and checklist for making Social Security decisions that fits you, not the textbook only. Let's dive in. All right, here are some of the biggest mistakes people make when applying for Social Security. Many of these are well documented by experts and financial planning firms. Mistake number one, claiming too early without evaluating life expectancy or income needs. One of the most frequent mistakes, someone becomes eligible at age 62 and thinks, let's claim now because they don't want to wait. The problem, if you claim at 62, you'll receive a permanently reduced benefit compared to waiting until your full retirement age or beyond. For example, if your full retirement age is 67 for those born 1960 or later, and you claim at 62, you might lose up to 30% of your monthly benefit for life. Many people don't factor in their health, other income sources, or how long they might live, and they lock in a lower benefit that could have been higher. Mistake number two, not understanding your full retirement age and its impact. Many people either assume their full retirement age is 65, it's not for many, or they misunderstand when they'll get 100% of their benefit. For those born 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67. If you claim before your full retirement age, you might think you're getting full benefit, but you're not. Then you get a surprise that your benefit is permanently lower. Mistake number three, failing to coordinate with a spouse or ex-spouse or understand spousal survivor benefits. If you're married or were married, you often have extra claiming strategies that might be possible, such as spousal benefits, survivor benefits, ex-spousal benefits. Many either ignore these or assume we'll just claim when I'm ready and don't plan the couple's interplay. For example, one spouse might benefit from waiting, another might start earlier to produce cash flow, or you might qualify for a spousal benefit which is higher than your own benefit based purely on earnings. If you don't explore this, you may leave money on the table. All right, let's look at mistake number four, not working long enough or not having 35 years of earning history. Your benefit is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. If you worked fewer than 35 years or took large gaps, such as let's say you were a stay-at-home mom or dad, zeros start to fill in, reducing your average earnings and thus lowering your benefit. Also, if you stop working early, you may reduce what you earn and can claim, and also reduce what Social Security has to base your benefit on. So retiring too early without being fully aware could be a mistake. Mistake number five, not checking or correcting your earnings record. Many pay little attention to the earnings record that the Social Security Administration uses to determine benefits. Mistakes in your work history, employers misreporting, name changes not captured, all these can reduce your benefit. It's wise to check your record periodically and correct errors early. Decades of missing income or miscredited years can cost you thousands of dollars. Mistake number six, ignoring taxation of benefits, not planning for taxes. People often forget Social Security benefits may be taxable depending on your provisional income, which is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half of your Social Security benefit. Up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed. If you don't plan for this, you may claim benefits thinking you'll have a certain net income. And then you're surprised by tax bites. Mistake number 7, assuming Social Security will cover all your needs or underestimate it. Some people assume Social Security will make them financially comfortable, when in fact, even the maximum Social Security benefit is limited. In 2024, roughly, the maximum benefit was about $58,000 for someone reaching full retirement age, and many won't see that. Other folks may assume Social Security is going broke, so I better claim early. And that fear drives suboptimal decisions. Mistake number 8, fearing the program too much, making decisions based on future debate rather than current reality. As what we talked about earlier, many people fear that Social Security and the trust fund will run out, so they claim early just in case. But the experts say while the trust fund is projected to deplete in about 2030, reductions would be only partial and Congress is likely to act. If you make decisions solely from fear of what if it's not there, you might lock in a lower benefit today and regret it later. Mistake number 9, failing to consider the trade-off between using savings versus delaying benefits. Some assume the golden rule is always wait as long as possible to claim and maximize your benefit. But this assumes you have sufficient other income. You expect to live a long time and you're comfortable deferring. If you don't, you may end up depleting savings prematurely. And then you're basically just solely relying on Social Security. Experts note that for some people it is better to claim earlier while continuing to work or using other assets. And number 10, not revisiting strategy when life changes. People often pick a claiming strategy and stick with it, but your health, your partner status, your other income sources, market returns all change. Your Social Security decision should be revisited as life evolves. A stacked decision made years ago may no longer fit. So, those are the big mistakes. Now, here's the twist. The conventional delay as long as possible to maximize your monthly check advice is very good in many cases, but not always. Let's look at a few scenarios where spending now or claiming earlier or otherwise deviating from the wait until 70 play might make sense. Because at the end of the day, what matters is living your life, not pushing off benefits. All right, so here's an example or a few situations that go against the typical rule of delaying claiming until age 70 for maximum benefits. These examples are illustrative and not personal advice, but they may help you think outside the conventional box. First scenario, health issues or lower life expectancy. We have a prospect or client that we had, Jane. Jane's 62. She's in decent shape, but has been diagnosed with a chronic condition, and her doctor estimates her life expectancy may be shorter than average. She also has some savings, but not a huge nest egg. She has no pension, a modest 401k, and she's worried about covering expenses now while she's still healthy enough to enjoy life. In this case, if Jane waits until age 70 to claim Social Security, she may receive a significantly larger monthly benefit, but she might not live enough to break even compared to claiming other strategies, including the years she spends without the benefit. Also, the value of enjoying life while she's young and healthy may outweigh the incremental dollars she gets each month later. So in Jane's case, claiming earlier, say 62 or 65, to get that extra cash flow now might make sense, rather than strictly holding out for the maximum monthly check. Here's another scenario. Meet Bob and Lisa, both in their early 60s, healthy, no major health issues, but their plan has always been work until full retirement age or later, then claim Social Security and live modestly. But recently, they've realized they've delayed travel, hobbies, visiting grandchildren, major life experiences because they've held off spending and perhaps held off claiming benefits to maximize later. Here's the insight. There's value in spending now while you are active, healthy, and mobile. If they wait until age 70, sure, their Social Security benefit payment is higher. But if in those extra years, they could take big trips, pursue passions, deepen relationships, maybe the cost of that slightly lower monthly benefit is worth the enjoyment. In such a case, drawing down some retirement savings, perhaps starting Social Security at 65 or earlier, could free up resources now. They might still delay part of the benefit, or one spouse claims earlier and the other later. The key, use money while you're alive and capable, because a higher monthly check at age 70 might matter less if you're less mobile or haven't enjoyed the first part of retirement. Another scenario, maybe one spouse has much higher earnings. The shorter-lived spouse claims early strategy. Maria and Carlos. Maria earned far more over her career, and Carlos earned less. He took part-time work and took some time off. Maria is healthy and expects to live into her 90s. Carlos is in a weaker health situation, so the typical advice might say Maria should delay to age 70 to maximize her benefit. Carlos should wait too. But maybe a better strategy is Carlos claims earlier, say age 62, to bring in some income. Maria delays to age 70. This gives the household some cash flow now while Maria's benefit keeps growing. And later, Maria outlives Carlos, so she has a higher surviving benefit. This is a bit of a deviation from both wait until 70. It uses the fact that one spouse expects shorter life or need to claim earlier, freeing up that lifestyle spending while the higher earning spouse benefit still grows. The household can use the money now, enjoy those trips, home improvements, help a child in need, or just reduce stress instead of waiting. Here's another scenario. You have ample other income or savings and want to avoid depleting assets. Now, meet Susan. She has a large retirement portfolio, a pension, and expects to live a long time. She could safely wait to age 70 to claim Social Security, but she also realizes drawing from her savings while markets are good and delaying Social Security might make sense, but if she instead claims earlier, reduces her withdrawals from her portfolio, that lets the portfolio continue to grow. She may give herself more flexibility. In some cases, claiming Social Security earlier, plus continue to work, plus reducing withdrawals, may be better than assuming I'll wait till 70 because that maximizes the check. See, it's all because asset drawdowns later may have tax or market return consequences. Moreover, if Susan wants to do something meaningful now, for example, give a large gift or support family, go on an adventure, drawing on savings and claiming might make more sense. Now let's look at one more scenario. Let's say you are comfortable with risk, you want to maximize non-Social Security spending now and expect to use less later. Meet Tom. He's 64, healthy, and expects to live until his mid-80s, but says, I'll likely spend more the next 10 years enjoying retirement and then scale back. It's a common theme that we usually see. Now, he has a moderate savings. He figures I can start Social Security at 65, use the money to travel and live fully from 65 to 75, perhaps even invest some of the benefit. And then after 75, I'll slow down. I'll still have assets. Essentially, he's flipping the script. Rather than saving Social Security for later in life, he is using it now to live. This is a deliberate decision to use the money while he is still active, even if that means his monthly benefit, if delayed, could have been higher. And for some people, time and experience matter more than maximizing dollars. All right, so what to consider and how to make your own decision. If you've watched the mistakes and heard these counter scenarios, you may ask, all right, so what do I do? Here's a decision framework, a list of questions and considerations to help you craft your own Social Security strategy. One that aligns with your life, not just a rule of thumb. First, understand your needs, your goals, and life expectancy. Pretty cliche to say, but it is important. What are your health prospects? Do you expect a normal or shorter or longer lifespan? What kind of lifestyle do you want after you stop working? Do you have a lot of travel ideas or hobbies, family time? Are there bucket list items that you want to tackle while you're young and healthy? Do you want to front load your retirement years, spend more earlier, or backload, so save for the later years? And how much income do you already have from pensions, savings, other investments? Are you comfortable waiting? Lastly, are you waiting to trade some monthly benefit for lifestyle flexibility now? Then, we want to calculate and estimate your Social Security benefit. Log into your account on the Social Security website and check your earnings record, benefit estimates. Make sure everything's correct. Look for any errors in some of the earning years. Mistakes here could cost you. Then look at what is your full retirement age. What benefit would you get at age 62, at your full retirement age, at age 70? What's the difference in the monthly benefit? The delayed retirement credits add roughly 5 to 8% per year from your full retirement age to age 70 in many cases. If you're married or previously married, what are the spousal or survivor or ex-spousal benefit scenarios? Coordinating all this matters. Now, we also want to understand the trade-offs. If you claim early, you get smaller monthly benefit forever, unless you continue working and you refile, which has its own complications. If you wait, you increase your monthly benefit, but you could also delay income and you might have to draw more from savings or work longer to keep landed delay. Also consider your other income sources from your savings and your portfolio. If you must draw heavily from your savings to bridge until Social Security, is that comfortable? Are you exposing yourself to market risk or longevity risk just to then fall on Social Security as your only income source? Consider taxes. What will your Social Security benefits be taxed? How will other income sources impact your marginal tax rate now versus later? Consider inflation and real spending power. A higher monthly Social Security check helps, but if you wait, you may miss out on years you're healthier and able to travel and enjoy life. Consider how mobile and healthy are you now compared to what you expect later. If you may slow down later, there's value in enjoying earlier years. Are there experiences you've been putting off while using savings, like travel, hobbies, starting a business, family time? Using resources now may enhance quality of life. And does the idea of saving for later stress you out? Some people find joy in using assets now rather than deferring everything. Lastly, we want to make sure that we revisit regularly and be flexible. Life changes, there's health status, market returns, family needs, tax laws can all change. Make your Social Security decision part of your ongoing retirement strategy. If you start Social Security, know the rules about changing your mind. You have a limited window within the first 12 months to withdraw an application and refund the benefits, but it's complex. Don't set it and forget it for decades without a review. And if you want, you can always seek professional advice or use a good calculator. Because there are hundreds of claiming strategies, especially for couples, and many rules, it's worth running the numbers carefully. Using reputable advisors or robust calculators, ask for what-if scenarios, looking at what if I claim at 62 or 65 or 70, what if I die at age 80 versus if I die at 90, what if my spouse dies first. All those different scenarios are good to look at. So understand the worst case scenario, look at the best case, and the most likely scenarios for your health, longevity, and investments. Then you have to make a decision that aligns with your values. Some people value security. I want the biggest monthly check I can get so I can feel comfortable no matter what. Others value experiences. I want to live my retirement while I'm healthy and fit, even if it means a slightly smaller check. Neither plan is inherently wrong. What matters is knowing the trade-offs and choosing intentionally. Many of the classic Social Security mistakes are avoidable. Claiming too early without thought, not coordinating with your spouse, ignoring your earnings history, failing to consider taxation and spousal benefits. But equally important is that textbook strategy. Delay as long as possible to maximize your monthly check. It is not always the best move for every person. Some people should absolutely consider spending now or claiming earlier because life is finite. Mobility may decline and other income sources may exist. And your lifestyle matters. If you spend decades working hard and then say, I'll wait and then live, but your health or circumstances change, you may regret the years you delayed. Retirement isn't just about how much you have, it's about how you use what you have and when. My encouragement to you is don't let fear of running out of Social Security dominate your decision. Don't let the idea of maximizing the check overshadow your quality of life. Instead, do the hard work now, estimate the numbers, understand your choices, align with your goals and the rest of your portfolio, and then pick a strategy that fits for you and revisit it as life evolves. If you'd like, I can put together your very own Social Security strategy, personalized just for you. It'll look at the claiming ages, claiming different scenarios, spend now versus wait, the trade-offs, and a checklist of things to ask yourself. If you would like me to help you with that, click the link below in the description, set some time up with me, and we'll make sure to help build that for you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you found this helpful, make sure to share it with someone that you know that's in or near retirement. Here's to making Social Security work for you and to life lived fully. We'll see you next time.